Now another thing some people have asked me is, look Randy, why don't you hook up the NCI rotor and the big carbs and all the super cool special clutches that I have that are very expensive. And the thing is that if you're out there and you're a young guy and you're building these motors, if you're building a stroker motor, take the carburetor that you had on your old bike, and I'll show you where that is. The old carburetor that worked. And this is the old carburetor that worked. I probably shouldn't have it on the ground, but oh well. Now I know that this 28mm Oco, I know that it's jetted right. It's got all the proper everything for the bike to run through its engine range from low to high. And it is dirty right now because it's been sitting for 2 years when I haven't ran the bike. But what I will do is I know that this will work. I know that my throttle settings up here are right where they were when they worked. So if I start the motor up with, say, like 10 or 20 different variables I did not have before, I'm going, well, damn, what could it be? Is it the reed cage? Is it the new cylinder? Because all cylinders are different. All right, whatever you put on, okay, everything is different. Is it the pipe? The pipe will affect a whole bunch of things. Is it the racing variator I put on with the weights? Are the weights right? Is it the rear clutch that I got a new adjustable super Molossi mega clutch that's supposed to be so great, but I never tried it? Is I have a Kevlar belt. Is that affecting it? And the deal is, if you have all these variables when you're building the engine, you got to start somewhere. You can't just do everything experimental and hope it's going to work, because there's always a fine tuning. This is for all you new guys that are building bikes, and maybe some of you old guys too. This is the way I do it anyway. So I'll use a stock reed, and I have my Boyson reed all set up to go. Another thing is, with this stock reed, is I can see how much better the Boyson is compared to this. The clutch is stock compared to what it was, and I have a $150 new Molossi clutch that I want to put in there. Everything's fine with the front end, but with the NCI rotor, I don't know exactly what it's going to do. So what I want to do is take the bike and run it. And usually when I take the bike and I run it, hi Mason, that's my alley cat. Come here, come here. He's just looking for cat food. Hi Mason. Anyway, once the engine starts, I will take it out and I'll go through my paces as far as low speed to mid speed to high speed. And that's what you want. You want your carburetor to work through all those phases with no lagging. You also want to be, with a stroker, when you go from a stroker to another, the stock engine, you need to hit the power band just right to have the clamshell pulley on the other side here go from low speed to high speed. I call it, it's just a 2-speed belt-driven transmission. You don't want to rev too high and have it work. You want to have a good takeoff, and then you want to have a good top end speed, and you want to have it all smooth for whatever your driving style. I'm 210 pounds, I'm old, I'm fat, but you Hawaiian guys, some of you guys are, 140, 150 pounds and would make a bike like this just become a total fucking rocket. I'm jealous, because a little bit of weight, 20 pounds of weight, makes a difference. So you want to keep everything stock as you can when you're building a new engine. And I've got to clean up my gas tank and put it on here. I've got to put on put on my 2 brand new wheels and new tires. I think what happened with my balancing of these tires. Just a second, I got a bug on my back or something. In balancing the tires, I think at one time I used some Fix-A-Flat, that foam crap in the inner tubes, and I think that threw the balance off. I'm hoping it did. And one more thing, point of the day on building these bikes. If you're building a DIO or a Honda Elite and they stop making this model in the year 2000, that means that we're 18 model years later. Keep every damn spare part you can. Keep it and put it away. Because you won't be able to get it again once they stop making this stuff. And they are stopping making a lot of parts. With my Honda Gyro, I bought a bunch of engine parts, say just like piston rings and head gaskets, and I bought them, put them away, and now they don't sell them anymore. So that is the tip of the day. Project DIO is coming along. I can't wait to start it. I work six days a week, but I'm gonna go slow. And I forgot the next thing I did, next video.